Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
Hey, y'all, it's your girl, Keke Palmer. I'm an actress, singer, and entrepreneur. On my new podcast, Baby, This is Keke Palmer, I'm asking friends, family, and experts the questions that are in my head. Like, is OnlyFans only bad? Where did memes come from? And where's Tom from MySpace? Listen to Baby, This is Keke Palmer, only on Amazon Music.
Crappens, watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens? Watch what crappens, watch what crappens. Who cares what happens when there's so much that crappens?
Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, a podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on Ye Old Brovs. I'm Ronnie. Guess who I'm with? Ben. He's so handsome and cute and smart. Hi, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
I'm doing so well, Ben. You know why?
Why?
Because we're alive. Also, everybody, our tour is selling really well. We're going on tour again this year. We're so excited. It's been a long time since we've been on the road, and I feel it in my bones. And we're selling. You guys are buying, so thank you so much. Go to watchwhatcrappens.com to get your tickets for that. We begin in Austin in February. We're going to like 20 places. It's nuts. And we just added some new dates because the Midwest thought we forgot. You thought we forgot about you. We're never going to forget about the Empire of Cheese. Okay, I'll tell you that much. We love you guys, so we will be there. We added San Diego, which is not the Midwest, I get it, but still, St. Paul, Minnesota, Chicago, Illinois, Columbus, Ohio. The other list, you want to hear the other list, Ben? Should I just keep doing it?
No, I think you should. You know, we're still in everything is still rolling out right now.
Okay, so we start in Austin on February 2nd, which is very soon. Then we're going to Dallas the next night. Then we'll be in Phoenix. Then Los Angeles for the 2023 Golden Crappies at the Wiltern Theater, which is a huge show for us. So please come to that. Charlotte, Atlanta, Denver, Salt Lake City, Seattle, San Francisco, Toronto, Philadelphia, New York City on Broadway, then Washington, D.C., and then the other cities I just mentioned, San Diego, St. Paul, Chicago, and Columbus. So go grab your tickets. Also, Patreon is fired up this week. We've got a lot going on Patreon. A bunch of videos. We did a Southern Hospitality video recap. Super fun. We're going to be doing Salt Lake City, and guess what? A trailer for something that's coming out soon. So watch our Crappens on Demand's video over at our Patreon, as well as get our bonus episodes. I wish that I could say that I'm done announcing shit, but guess what?
That's okay. Announce more.
We have it's a great start to a year for us, and we have not told you guys yet because we weren't supposed to. But guess what? We are with the Wondery Network now, as you have already heard, I'm sure. So it's not that much of a surprise to you, but it's exciting for us to tell you.
Yeah, it is really exciting. You may have seen our logo that Wondery has popped up on there. We're really excited to be partnered with them, and part of that is that we now are going to be releasing some stuff on Wondery Plus, which hopefully all of you guys are already part of.
Yeah, and if you're an Amazon Prime member, Amazon is Wondery, they're together now. So if you're an Amazon Prime member, you can listen ad-free over there, or join Wondery Plus, or join Apple subscriptions. Now, some people were a little worried when they figured out that we had moved, thinking we were going to start releasing episodes late, or we were going to do subscriber-only stuff. Nothing changes as far as getting 5 episodes a week for free. That stays the same. They're always going to come out when they were going to come out. They don't come out at a special time for anybody else. The only thing that changes is we are bringing back Dwell Hello for the subscriber channel, and that'll be 2 times a month. Dwell Hello is our House Hunters recap podcast, and we don't expect you to go watch House Hunters every episode to listen to this. It's just making fun of stupid people in different locations. So if you're into that, definitely join us. We love doing Dwell Hello.
Yeah, Dwell Hello is going to be on Wondery Plus. I just was laughing because I love the way you sort of like tonally had the sound of like, here's the good news, here's the bad news. Like the good news is everything stays the same. The bad news, Dwell Hello is added to the mix. No, it's good news, good news.
It is good news.
I was like bracing. I was like, what's the other shoe that Ronnie's about to drop? Should I warn him? Should I send a smoke signal? Like, is something bad going to happen?
No,
like,
I just, because I'm telling people, no, everything's still going to be free. But then we're saying, but it's not. But, it's like.
No, it is literally the same. It is literally the same. And, but we now, you can listen ad free with Wondery Plus, and you can, like Ronnie said, you can access that through like the Apple Music, Apple Podcast Player, or like or the Wondery app, like however you're going to do it. But really, the whole point of this is really to say that Dwell Hello is coming back, and it's coming back this week. So we are really excited. No, it's
next week.
I thought it was this week.
Edit that, Ross. Oh, and that's another thing. We don't have. It's still just us. So there's no one producing the show.
In case you couldn't tell. In case you couldn't
tell, it's still just us two idiots over here trying to figure this out. Nobody's like producing us or cutting anything or cleaning us up. Okay? We're still the same. We're just at a different place. So anyway, long way to say thank you for still being here, and thank you for having us Wondery Plus, and also thank you to Stitcher. You were a great network to us. So thank you. You were a great home. And we're psyched. We're just psyched to be alive.
Yeah, we are excited. You know what? I feel like now that we're here with Wondery, I feel like it almost, it feels almost like we're just going on. It's like we're going on a big, massive, exciting adventure.
Oh, and what an adventure it is. Might I say, a hairy adventure.
Yeah, Below Deck Adventure. By the way, Below Deck Adventure is going nuts. They are losing their minds up there in Norway.
Well, it's like everybody's suddenly realizing what assholes Oriana and Lewis are. That's who I blame for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And also, lipstick just doesn't work as like a motivator. You know what I mean? Like your whole leadership style can't just be wear lipstick and curl your hair. Okay? Like this is not a Pan Am commercial in Mad Men. Okay, you're going to need more. Okay, perhaps a bun. Might I suggest a bun? Because there's a lot of hair and things today.
Yeah, this is a big hairy episode. Buns will definitely help, especially if you've got your hair literally just like hanging into the pork chops.
Yeah, there's a lot of hair hanging over veal, okay? That is a baby cow. That's not even a cow that, like, got to go to college or anything. That is a baby cow that you killed to be dangling your curled hair over. And there's Aquanet in that hair, too, Faye. I know you've got some Aquanet in there, and don't tell me you don't.
Well, I mean, I do have to say, Jess's hair is pulled back, but she still has hairs towards the back of her head that are kind of just, like, dangling. Like, I feel like the hairs could be really coming from anywhere. If you don't have a net on, if you don't have a net and a shower cap on, those hairs could be flying.
It's also, they're like running around with all these wigs, and like trying on wigs and getting ready for wigs. Then you've got just Oriana, who I feel like just is like throwing hair everywhere. I just feel like she's the kind of person who, like, if you're her roommate, you're like, oh my God, clean out the clog. Your hair is everywhere. She's just annoying, so I feel like her hair is always clogging the drain. And also, first of all, this is going to be very controversial, so just want to brace myself to say it.
Okay, I'm bracing.
This is really bold to say, especially on a new network. I believe that there is hair in some of this food. I think that Mary Lou's a goddamn liar, and I'm going to say that right now. I don't believe that Mary Lou. I believe that Mary Lou has Munchausen hair syndrome, where she just,
and fly syndrome.
Yeah, she just says that there's stuff in her food to get attention. So Mary Lou, I think you're a goddamn liar. But everybody else, I believe you, and you can work it out with a hairnet or a bun.
Yeah, when I used to not have like basically a crew cut, which is what I have now, or buzz cut, when I had like normal, like floppy, I shouldn't say normal, I'll just say longer hair, longer floppier hair. If I found like a black hair in my food, if it was of a certain length, I just assumed it was mine. I really did. And I feel like most people don't like to face up to the fact that a lot of the hair that falls in their food is from themselves. Now, if it's a long hair, then I know it's not mine. And especially nowadays, I know it's not mine. But, Mary Lou, there's a chance. She said that she'd eaten enough of that veal chop that she had felt okay. So I'm going to say, Mary Lou, the statute of limitations of finding hairs in your food is, I think it's short enough. It's short. It's pretty short because once you start bending over your plate and eating food, that could be a Mary Lou hair.
Yeah, and I really have no proof of anything. Obviously, I just feel like Mary Lou's a goddamn liar. Okay? And that's it. And I'm sticking with it. I have my feelings. I have my gut. And that's what my gut is telling me, that she's a goddamn hair liar. And I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. Although there was one time I went to Barney's Beanery in WeHo, and I definitely found very quickly, thankfully, a black curly hair. And it looked like a pube. I don't think it was a pube. I'm sure it was not a pube, but it presented like one. And I did not like that at all. And that one I knew did not come from the top of my head.
Yeah. Well, when I used to have hair, I would just be like, it's probably mine. Who gives a shit? Like, I'm an eater, so I don't care. I'm not going to let a hair get in my way. I move it. And also, most of you have hair. So it's not, everyone acts like, oh my God, I'm going to die. It's hair. But being in service, like, I get it's disgusting. Nobody wants hair in their food. But being bald, I know it wasn't my ass.
Yeah,
like,
that's the thing.
What did one of my back hairs, just like magically crawl over my back and into your food? No. So it was one of you hair privileged motherfuckers. And so I just sit back and watch the fights.
Yeah, I have to say also, if there's like a hair in my food, I'm usually like, it's like, oh, that's gross. But like, people lose their mind. People like they'll flip a table. And I'm actually not like that. I'm kind of like, oh, that's gross. But I'm not. There's probably grosser things in the food than the hair. You know what I'm saying? Like there's probably.
You're eating carcasses. You know
sweat.
What I mean?
We're eating carcasses. There's like sweat that probably made its way in there. Like there's probably skin flakes. I feel like the hair is probably the least offensive thing. Now, if it gets into your mouth, that's the thing that's really bad because that's more visceral. It's like you take a bite of macaroni and cheese and then out comes a hair. So like that's really gross. I don't know, but for some reason I'm relatively chill about the hair situation. Relatively.
Okay. Yeah.
So it doesn't bother me as much.
Let's move into it. There's a lot more hair to discuss. So let's get into it.
Yeah.
So we start with drama music because Faye is upset because they've just had this, the decky day out where they get to go to the spa and everything, except they didn't get to go to the spa. They just got to go jump rope in a fucking park in Norway, and then they had to come eat dinner together on the boat and then clean up after themselves. So automatic gift return, I say. But she's upset because everyone just left her a big mess and went to bed, basically.
And it's from the sounds of it, because what was weird to me was when I was watching it last week, I thought, well, it's nice they're all bringing the plates back in, and it sounds like she was expecting the deckies to load the dishwasher. I guess that's what it really came down to, and they really didn't do anything.
Well,
and
why should Faye have to do all the dishes for a whole damn dinner? I don't think that's fair either. I
agree. I think that they should have done the dishes. I think that
that attitude wasn't at you; it was at Lewis.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm co-signing. Sorry. I think I maybe I
was like, I'm furious, and hello starts next week, so we'll see you then.
I was like, wait a second. I never took a stance that Faye should do the dishes.
I know. I said it like I was mad at you, but Lewis is just standing there. Okay, this is why I'm mad, because Lewis is just standing there with those really beautiful colored green eyes. I mean, those are some or blue. I don't know. They're very bright. They're like White Walker eyes. They're very beautiful. But he's like standing there looking like a little boy wrapped in a towel, and it just makes you want to. Not that I want to punch little kids in towels. It's just like, look at me, I'm a little kid having fun. And Faye's looking at her computer very stressed out. And she's like, I just asked once for you guys to chip in. And you couldn't do it. You couldn't load a dishwasher. He's like, but we took the stuff from the table. She's like, that was half a job. You don't do half a job. You do a full job. Do I have one red lip or two? I have two red lips. It's what a professional does.
This is my problem. I did not put on a powerful red lip. I just put on a red lip. And you have to have a powerful lip to get the things done. It's my fault.
And then she pulls out the full mom Faye effect. I just know not to rely on you guys for anything. That's how I feel. I can't do it. Just once I asked for your help. Just once. When she's been bossing them around. like
all season.
Season.
I'm not going to be the nice chief stew they've had the whole time.
I'm like, have you been the nice chief stew they've had the whole time? Everything is like,
Lewis, there seems to be a yogurt in the refrigerator. Could you please pick it up and move it to a different location? Thank you so much.
Have you ever been in the bank and you're taking out money, even if you're at the teller part, and you're like, I need to cash this check for $100, please. That time where they look at your ID and then look you up and down and give you that money, I just always feel like that's Faye. Like, I'm just hoping that she gives me, even though I know it's my money, like I know that I'm not doing anything wrong. I feel like I am doing something wrong. And I feel like that's the look that Faye gives people.
yeah. Well, you know what? I mean, to me, the Faye is the woman in big business when Sadie, aka Bette Midler, goes in to buy that polka dot dress. She goes, all right, I want that one. Give me a size 2. And the woman just looks at her and she goes, And then she goes, fine, size 4. Okay, size 12. Like the sales clerk just eyeing Bette Midler and saying, you are giving me the wrong size and I know it. To me, that's Faye's energy.
But I like her, So then bedtime, Oriana and Lewis get into bed together, and he goes, oh my goodness. And she goes, that will get you in trouble. And he's like, oh, you're squishy in all the right places. And poor Mike is below them going, Mike, no sleep. Mike, no sleep tonight.
No sleep for Mike night. Noise up above. Mike, sleepy.
So then we see everybody going to sleep because it's one of those episodes where they're like, this is how Oriana goes to sleep. This is how Mike goes to sleep. This is how Nathan goes to sleep. This is how Seth goes to sleep. Seth sleeps with his arms behind his head. What a douche. What a fucking douche. You even sleep like a douche.
He sleeps like he's getting a blowjob. It's so bizarre.
He does. With both his hands behind his head, like, yeah, just watching other kids swim. Hope one of them drowns. He's like that fucking douche.
Yeah, well, if you think about linens as a mouth, you're basically just getting your entire lower half blown, huh?
It's 7:20 in the morning, in case anybody was wondering. And everybody's getting up. Hey, guys, this is how Nathan gets up. This is how Lewis gets up. This is how Rihanna gets up.
And I want to also point out that in the beginning of the season, sunset was at like 11:45 p.m. sunset. So they kept on saying sunrise at 1 a.m., sunset at 11:45 p.m. And it's like, oh my God, these days in Norway are so long. But I guess they've been out there long enough that now it's like sunrise 6:20 a.m., sunset 8:30 p.m. I'm like, well, it's getting kind of pretty standard for the summer. So I think we can. I'm just not impressed by the times. We could just stop with that
They
feature.
just want you to know what kind of day to expect,
Okay.
It's like looking at your little weather app in the morning, like, oh my God, it's going to rain at 11:30. I better call people.
I'm basically saying the window for me being impressed by Norway's sunsets has passed.
It's
okay?
over now,
It's over.
right? You just
it's
get
done.
used to it. You're like, the Aurora what? The Aurora Borealis. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even
Yeah,
care.
you put the boring in Aurora Borealis.
Because were
Stupid.
I'm, by the way, I call people stupid all day. I'm literally the dumbest person I know. Where is that, the Aurora Borealis? Because don't they show it above in the sky?
They showed it this episode. This episode
like,
they showed
wow.
it. And I actually went back and watched it 3 times. And I was trying to decide whether it was a real Northern Lights or if it was just stock footage they put in there.
I was like, whoa, that's my screensaver. That's amazing that they're using that in the footage. And I was like, no, Ronnie, that's actually a real natural thing that happens. And then I said, but where does it happen? And then I went on a whole journey with myself. Anyway, my point is, am I just
see them.
like such a privileged American fuck that I've seen the Aurora Borealis so many times on my screensaver that I've never noticed it on this show?
No, this is the first time I'd noticed it on this show because I don't think there's been enough nighttime for there to be Aurora Borealis.
Well, it was amazing, even in fast forward motion.
It was.
Nice work, nature.
Nice work, nature. I would love to see the Northern Lights. I've never done it. Should we do a live show in the Arctic Circle?
No.
Northern Territories of Canada.
I want us to be the
Northern
most
Lights episode.
No, I want us to be the most beautiful thing on the stage. I don't want people like, oh yeah, Fang, her hair curling. They're like, wow, look at the lights. Fuck that. Don't look at me.
Don't you realize the Northern Lights is God's powerful red lip? It's like, all right, we need to oppress the humans today.
It's God's curling iron. So let's see. Everybody gets up. Mike jokes with Lewis about how he never really fucks Oriana, even though they're in bed together every night. He's like, "Who idea? No sexy time." And Lewis is like, "Oh, it's a mutual idea." Untrue. No lie.
Liar. So then Faye, Faye's eating breakfast, and someone asks if she's feeling okay. Casey asks how she's feeling. She's like,
Oh, I feel fine. I'm moody because I hate the boys. I just can't stand them. I've really tried to be nice to them and give them the benefit of the doubt, but what they did last night took me over the edge, much like that platter of silverware that Lewis perched on the sink and then subsequently fell in the sink. I am in the sink with the silverware, emotionally.
Thankfully, I have my emotional support curling iron while I think this over. And she's like sitting there just like holding the curling iron in her hair as she deep thinks. It's like her face roller. You know, it's her Real Housewives of Beverly Hills face roller. So Mike and Lewis are, they're still in the cabin. And Mike's like, towel, floor. And Lewis is like, well, just put them in the laundry. We no allow laundry.
laundry bad today. And he's like, well, otherwise they'll just sit in our room and then I'll end up wiping my balls on the towel that you're using for your face. Towel for face? Me not know towel for face.
Mike put towel asshole. Oh, that's disgusting, Mike. Get it together. So I like that right after Faye has guilted him, he's like, fuck it. Let's use Faye's laundry today.
I know.
See how that goes.
I thought it was going to become a big fight. Like I was so ready. I was ready for the fight to be like,
Oriana, could you please do the laundry?
I can't because Lewis is using the washer to do towels.
Oh, and then she marches in there. Lewis, I've told you 1,000 times, no laundry on prep days. I mean, this is so disrespectful after all that we've done for you. I mean, I might as well not even talk to you. You're as good as and as helpful as a guest. I can't do this anymore.
I was ready and I was already fired up. And it never happened.
I've asked for respect and I've received a testicle towel in the dryer.
These brown smudged towels stinking up the laundry. I mean, what?
You went too far.
Well, you said testicle towels.
Okay. You've overstepped. All right, Rita.
Brown smudge because of the Norwegian cheese. The Norwegian cheese is brown. I meant like they were picking up Norwegian cheese. God, Ronnie. Get your mind out of the gutter.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens.
Hey, I'm Arisha.
And I'm Brooke.
And we're the hosts of Wondery's podcast, Even the Rich, where we bring you absolutely true and absolutely shocking stories about the most famous families and biggest celebrities the world has ever seen. Our newest series is all about the incomparable diva, Whitney Houston. Whitney's voice defined a generation, and even after her death, her talent remains unmatched. But her incredible success hid a deeply private pain.
In our series, Whitney Houston, Destiny of a Diva, we'll tell you how she hid her true self to make everyone around her happy, and how the pressure to be all things to all people led her down a dark path.
Follow Even the Rich wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen ad-free on the Amazon Music or Wondery app.
Commercial.
So the Deckies are in the mess trying to tape things together. I don't really know what. It was just funny watching Mike try to work tape because, he works it like Mike. Tape pod! He can't do it.
Yeah, watching them trying to like slice tape. I was like, how's this boat not sunk into the bottom of the Norwegian fjord? I mean, like these Deckies are so inept.
Yeah, so pref sheet mating time. And so Jess comes down. She's like, what's happening, Louis? And he's like, just trying to get my zen on. And so the captain goes over the guests. Lots of fun here. Shelby Potts. Celebrate. No relation to Annie. I checked, Ben, because I knew
that was
you
my
were going to request.
That was my very first thought. Like, is this Annie's lesbian daughter? Please let it be.
Shelby Potts celebrating her engagement to her girlfriend. All crew members met playing LGBTQ plus flag football. You're big footballers. I like that he's like, I'm not fucking it up this time. All right. Like, can we re-roll that? LGBT.
Now, do you all know what flag football is?
Oh, is that like playing soccer but with the pride flag?
No, it's not at all. It's the thing that they do in the States.
Oh, a thing that they do in the States. Like potato chips. Yes, out of a bag.
You might notice if you look outside that we've got nice rainbow flags out there.
Oh, I was calling those flags with lipsticks.
Oh, look, there's Mike trying to wipe his face on it. No, it's not a towel, Mike.
And Lewis is like, well, they want us to do a drag show, so you girls will have to share your makeup. And we just get a as Faye glares at him.
If you think I'm putting my power lip on you, you have another thing coming, sir.
So Carrie's like, well, these guests are thrill seekers. I'm taking them to Valderoya. The mountains there are nuts. They're going to take a helicopter to the mountaintop and then rappel down. Talk about an adventure of a lifetime.
Sounds difficult.
Just the adventure killer. Enjoy rappelling down a mountainside. I hope it's as difficult as making a baked Alaska.
I hope it's not as repelling as it sounds. So Faye's like,
Well, I hate to bring this up. Dun, dun, dun. Are we going to do an off-board lunch for this?
and Jess goes, I don't know, Faye. Are we going to do an off-board lunch?
The Faye's face drops like,
How dare you throw that question back at me? She's like, I see what's going on here.
so Jess says, with my current experience with the timing, I'm not going to stay from 2 until 6, cooking them lunch, slaving over fire pits, searching for bags that aren't there, then suddenly are there, waltzing around in the rain with no deckhands. No, I shan't do that. I shall make sandwiches.
I have not worked this hard in my life to waste one of my greatest dishes. Linguine. You will not get in my way. So the captain's like, okay, she can make fantastic gourmet sandwiches. And she's like, with cold chips, never work.
Well, Americans love eating potato chips with their burgers. You know, Americans, potato chip, burger, burger, burger. Isn't that the way their national anthem goes?
Out of the bag.
Crisps, yes.
That's what they like to have. And she's like, really?
They're just like horrified at the thought of us eating like Doritos.
She's like, disgusting. So now the captain calls Lewis up. He's like, now listen, got a moment. I want to show you where we'll be going on this map. Now we're going to plan the activities around that. Now, what's the deal with Seth? How you getting on with that big guy? Oh, he sleeps with his hands behind his head. It's a real mountain to climb, that one.
Well, I had a talk with him, and I know he's lead deckhand material for me. Interesting. And if you pick up on social cues when I say interesting, it means there's a lot more from behind that interesting ... Okay, well, I don't pick up on that. So anyway, I think if this charter goes well, I think I might make him lead deckhand.
Good, because the way to deal with it is to give him more of a lead.
That's why I said I'd make him lead deckhand.
Lead bosun, possibly. I'm just saying, sleeps with his hands behind his head. I love a man with sleeping initiative. Now there's a man who can get a Hummer in his sleep.
Listen, I'm not going to say what he told me, but it rhymes with, he wants your job. But anyway, you didn't hear it from me. Oh, what sort of job would that be? Sweeping? I could give him the sweeping job. All right, never mind. You can't figure it out. It's going to be on you.
So Lewis is like,
I really don't know what motivates Seth. I think it's something to do with his ego.
well, welcome to humanity, Lewis. Nice work. Okay. So then we see Jess in the kitchen, and she's got lobsters. And she's like separating the lobsters, and she just goes, hideous creatures.
The lobsters are like, well, what do you think we had to look at before we died? You, huh?
Thanks a lot, loose bun.
I know. You want to talk about hideous creatures? At least we don't get hair on our faces. Hello. Could you have just tied that back for a second? They're from the Catskills. Those lobsters are from the Catskills, if anyone's wondering.
So then Casey and Oriana have a little tiff because Casey's like, Oriana, did you finish the guest cabins? And Oriana is like on her phone tapping out a text. She's like, you said you did it. Yeah, I said I did the beds. I didn't check everything. It's probably not complete.
So then Faye is like,
Interior, come on, come right here. Okay, Interior, I'm in this room. Okay, this mirror needs doing. This toilet roll is missing. There's a Coke can right there. There's a cup right there. There's a severed arm on the bed. Did you guys not notice there was a severed arm right here, bleeding everywhere? Please dispose of that. I mean, what is happening here?
What is Lewis's testicle towel doing on the master bed? Somebody?
And Oriana's like, I mean, we still have time. And Casey's like, yeah, but we shouldn't be rushing.
Yeah, but it doesn't help to be high-stressed when you're, like, high-stressed. So I'm just going to say that as I keep tapping out a text on my phone.
And then Oriana's like, well, it was a miscommunication, so like we're good, like we're finishing it right now. And Faye goes,
well, I thought you did say you spot checked, Casey.
And Oriana's like, and I did ask you to do it, dude. And Faye's like,
well, this is why I'm not elevating one after the other. It's ridiculous.
And then she does this thing that I really like. She does like a hand gesture assignment where she just looks in a closet and she just flops her index finger at like all the shelves and just walks away. Like, clean all of this up.
Yeah, all of this. Now listen, all of us should have known to check this. All of us.
And Oriana's like, yeah, but we all miscommunicated and it's fine. I would fire Oriana just for the way she talks. She talks so fucking rudely to every single person and that condescending.
Like, you know what you really need to do? It's like not stress when you're stressed.
Like, you've got linguine in your fucking mouth. Could you not talk to me like that while I'm working and you're putting linguine in your mouth, ma'am? Please.
Yeah, the only one who really sort of keeps her in check is Jess, because Jess is like on Oriana, and Oriana is always like like the way that Jess just condescends to her, but like in a way that just shuts up Oriana is hilarious.
Well, it shuts her up, but look what it turned Oriana into, because Oriana is one of those little behind the scenes bringing somebody down. Like, oh, Jess is a problem. Oh, Jess is a problem. Oh, Faye, you shouldn't let Jess talk to you that way. Oh, Faye, look at how Jess is treating you. No, whispering in her ear until everybody's going at each other.
Yeah. So now it's 45 minutes till charter, and there's like provisions are on the dock. There's a football sitting on the provisions, and Lewis is like, oh, it's an American football. You know what? This is what it's like. This is what football is like. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I run around a little bit. Oh, Mike, why do you shout numbers at each other? Football plays football, America.
And Lewis is like, well, my education of American football is Ace Ventura. You could have just stopped at my education is Ace Ventura. You could have taken out the American.
Asa Ventura, which is even worse. Asa Ventura.
It's Asa from Shaw's. She's like, watch me say funny things with my ass cheeks.
Hey, babe, do not go in there, babe. Babe, do not go in there, babe.
So now they're all getting ready for the gas, and Faye's like, crew, please wear your hair down and a powerful lipstick if possible.
Yeah, and now the guests arrive. Now, it's funny because I feel like they don't normally have their hair down. I feel like their hair is mostly up with some parts down, right? But this time it was all down. And I had to imagine it was to up the sex appeal, considering that the majority of these guests are lesbians.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't look at hair. Is that weird?
It's not weird.
I've chosen, I blur out hair on other people so I don't get like insanely jealous, because like I can't do anything about being bald, so I just choose to pretend it's not a thing. So like I don't know what people's hair looks like. I don't know. I can't tell you.
Well, that was my fleeting theory. So the guests show up. It's Shelby and Turner.
So a bunch of bald lesbians show up. Shelby and
Some of them have mohawks. Some of them have cornrows. You really don't pay attention. So, Shelby and Turner. It's kind of funny that Turner goes by Turner because it's like Shelby Potts, but Turner goes by Turner. Also, I wish it was like Potts and Turner because that way they would sound like a police duo. right?
Yeah,
Like
they
Potts and
would.
Turner.
Potts
know?
and Turner. They could be like one of those British shows where it's like Potts and Turner, they're detectives, but they also plant things in a garden.
Yeah. And they're undercover in Norway. They're like, it's like the sequel to Smell a Sense of Snow. It's like Potts and Turner in Scandinavia investigating murders on a yacht.
Shelby, we're elated that you chose to celebrate your engagement to Turner in luxury. Please go on a LBGTYU tour plus enjoy.
And then Mary Lou was like, so they have their champagne toast, and then Mary Lou's like, oh, there's like a bug in my champagne. And Faye goes,
Oh, well, I don't see it, but we'll get you a new one.
which is her little way of being like,
Don't you dare question my good service, bitch.
And I like that because, listen, if you can't see the bug, there's no bug. What is it, an invisible bug? Where's the bug? Show me the bug. Mary Lou.
yeah, where's the bug?
Yeah.
Norwegian bug.
I don't
What do the
trust
bugs
you,
look
Mary
like in
Lou.
Norway? Do they wear sweaters
Hot. They wear like chunky turtleneck sweaters.
with like little beautiful patterns? I'm actually wearing a Nordic sweater as we speak. Now that I speak about it, I'm dressed like a Norwegian fly.
Hot. You see? So then Faye's like, yes, I don't see it, Crazy Lou, but I'll get it. I'm Faye, your chief stew, and you can all die now. Thank you.
So so they go on the boat tour, and basically it's a group of lesbians, but there's one gay guy. I mean, they're all gay, but there's one gay man, and he is doing everything. He's like, I am the role of the designated gay man on this trip, and I am going to fulfill my destiny by being the most ever.
Yeah, but he looks like Homer Simpson's neighbor. What's that dude's
Yeah,
name?
Ned Flanders.
Yeah, Ned Flanders. He's like, should we keep our clothes on in this hot tub? Am I right, girls? Am I right? Here's what you could do. Clean it. Why is that hot tub green? Why is the water in there green? It's bugged me the whole season, and it grosses me out.
Yeah, I'm going to blame Lewis and Oriana for that somehow. And then Faye is like,
Does anyone want their luggage unpacked? And he's like, no offense, we don't want you going through our things. Ah!
So the captain is down in the galley, and Jess is like, would you like to taste this disgusting cheese? And he's like, what is that? It's like, it looks like peanut butter, doesn't it? It's Norwegian cheese.
you're going to have to try it because you're the captain. And she's like, doesn't it taste? So he tries it. And he's like, oh, actually, it's not so bad. He goes, does it taste like caramel cheese? Actually, it tastes really good. Like really good. Like really, really good. Well, the joke's on you. It's actually Norwegian soup. Enjoy.
Plebeian. So Casey is like, Oriana, we've got the cheese plate ready. And Oriana says, yeah, but they're on tour right now, and I don't want to bring it on deck because it's like hot on deck. And if they see their cheese has been sitting out in the heat, I mean, I just can't. Like, I can't even. So, like, I'm not going to do it right now. Just say, hold the cheese. I'll be down in a minute. Like, do we need the monologue? Oriana's on my last one. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
She's been on your last one for a while, to be fair. So Casey's basically turns to Jess and is like, so how would you feel if, like, after this chata coming into my cabin, do you want to do that? And Jess goes, love to. I think Faye and I spend too much time together anyway.
Yeah, and if things aren't working, then you can change with what you have, and I have you. Yay. She's like, okay, Oriana, you can take this cheese when you're ready. She's like, do we have toothpicks for this? Am I just supposed to, like, take this how it is? I mean, is there a tooth? Okay, no toothpicks? Okay. Okay, ... And yes, I'm saying the ... because you just don't seem to get it.
Hey, that's what I did with Lewis earlier. A lot of people not picking up on the ... today. So now it's time to release the lines, time to get on out of this port. So Mary Lou, as they're leaving the port, Mary Lou's talking to her friend, and she's like, dude, I swear to God, there was a bug in my champagne. Because, they're all like, thanks a lot, Mary Lou. You made us look like a whole bunch of high-maintenance bitches. Thanks, Mary Lou. Couldn't you just, like, spat it out like a normal person?
I know, right? Because she's like, I swear there was a bug in my champagne this time. It's not like the time at Chili's where I just saw a lemon seed and thought it was a bug. No, I know. It's not like the time at Fig and Olive when I thought there was something in my drink and it just turned out to be a piece of ice. Like, okay, Mary Lou, we believe
Mary Lou,
you.
you once called the manager because you said there was a ladybug in your martini and it was an olive. Okay, it was supposed to be there. I know, but I just got scared. I panicked.
We believe you, Mary Lou. We believe you. So Oriana's like, I brought food for you guys if you're peckish. And Turner's like, wow, look at Faye. She's a real cutie pie. And they're like, whoa, Turner, what? And she's like, yeah, Faye, hey, Faye, just so you know, I was like, Faye's a real cutie pie. And I meant, I want to put her in my pocket. It's like, oh, really? Like imaginary little bugs that Mary Lou keeps in hers to get me in trouble? No chance, Turn. No chance.
And Shelby's like, are you going to leave me for Faye? Well, you're pretty lucky I'm still with you after you lied and said Annie Potts was your mother. So, I don't know.
Who could resist?
I didn't think you were going to fact check.
The only other thing you would compare me to are things you put plants in if I didn't say Annie Potts.
I got nervous. We were watching Young Sheldon. She appeared on screen. It seemed like the right thing to say.
People named Potts need to add a little glamour into their life.
I mean, how many pots are there? It seemed like a reasonable thing. I just didn't think you were going to look on IMDb.
So, Captain is like, Lewis, we're 20 out from Anchorage. Let's go through pre-arrival. And so he's teaching Lewis the ropes so Lewis can one day be a captain. And Lewis is like, I haven't had captains that are that much of a mentor like Carrie, but I want to be a competent leader. I just can't keep doing everything. All of those dishes I didn't put in the dishwasher was exhausting. Really exhausting.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So now the anchor is going down, and Nathan's looking over the edge. He's like, one shackle on the waterline. And Carrie's like, well, I won't do anything. I wouldn't do anything yet until I know how that chain's doing. So let's see what the train's doing. Hey, Nathan, how's that chain doing out there? Is it off the chain? If you get what I'm saying, a little Aussie humor there. And Lewis is like, Nathan, Lewis, please give me the direction of the chain. Nathan's like, direction of the chain is up and down, short, medium, long. It's long stay. The weather, it's about 56 degrees Fahrenheit right now. I see it looks to be a jellyfish just sort of going around wondering where its friend went. I don't know.
Yeah, actually, it's long and then medium. And Carrie's like, fucking hell, Nathan! All your answers from here on out are four words or less. All right? We're not having a conversation here. All right, drop a shackle. Please, drop a shackle, Mike. Mike, drop shackle. Sorry, guys. It just kept the reason I was on the radio is because it just kept showing
still
me.
Fucking talking. Get off the fucking radio. Get off the radio, Howard Stern, okay? Your show's over right now. Who is this, Don Imus? Get out of there.
So he storms outside and he's like, listen here, Limbaugh, all right? Stay off the radio. And one of the ladies is like, oh my God, Captain's pissed. And he has a bug on his forehead. Shut up, Mary Lou.
All right, fine. You're going to accuse me of lying. All right, you already accused Shelby of lying. Well, guess what, Turner? We know your grandfather is not Ted. What? Okay, Mary Lou, you have to go downstairs. Mary Lou.
No wonder you never got my mother a job. Your mother's not Annie Potts, Shelby.
Let's be honest, okay? Your grandfather was never going to give her mother a job because she complained about the bug at the Warner Brothers commissary.
So
they just have a web of lies. They just are lying about inconsequential things on this yacht, and it's all unraveling.
They're just all compulsive liars. So Carrie's like, fucking hell. So he's really mad, and Nathan just keeps kind of fiddling with his radio, and he's like, but I was trying to tell you anyway. And then he tells us, I was just trying to communicate, but my radio was saying beep, beep, bloop, beep, bloop, beep, beep, and it was throwing me off. The radio messed this up. And Carrie's like, all right, you know what, Lewis? I got to do this. Your boys have got to do their job. Now get out. get out of here. And you go through your life showing those boys what to do. And for now, that is your adventure!
The radio has a purpose. It's a safety tool. Nathan gets caught up in the moment. It's going to start getting on my nerves. So I want everyone at home to know this. Next time you hear that jingle, 1877 calls for kids. 1877 calls for kids. That was for your safety.
Up. Down.
Nathan!
Sideways
Nathan,
down.
stop it. Is he trying to
swirling
figure
now.
out how to cut tape again? We don't need to use your radio to cut tape.
Mike caught anchor. Oh, God damn it. Screw.
Now we have no anchor, Mike. What are you thinking? Mike, act out. Mike, miss containers.
So then we go to Oriana talking to Ned Flanders, and she's like, if you'd like me to take a picture, I can, because you just look so picturesque the way you're like posing right there on the bow of the boat. Do you want me to take your picture?
I'm really good at taking a high angle because I brought my stilts with me.
So then Lewis is telling Nathan, he goes down and he's doing something. He's working. And he's like, listen, don't worry, Nathan. Carrie's just that kind of guy sometimes. And he's like, I'm disappointed because my job is important to me. I don't want to be the weak link. Oh, Nathan, it's okay. People are doing way worse on this boat, okay?
I know. There are way weaker links. The whole chain it's not really even a chain. It's just a collection of little
like
iron circles that are near each other.
It's like twisty ties that could be tied together.
It's you know what it is? It's like lint. You're like, wow, this is fabric. And then you realize it's not fabric. It's just dust that's collected. It's clumped together.
So Seth is helping Faye with big gold decorations that they're putting up for their big drag show party. And she's like, I need you to straighten that, please. Straighten it, I said. Straighten it. And he's like, Faye's hard to figure out. She moves really quickly between flirty and businesslike. Just trying to figure out how I can fit in there.
Well, the thing is tangled, by the way, because he's like, Faye, you want me to hang this? And she uses it as a way to slam Oriana because she's like, it's this tangled random decoration. She goes,
Oh, that's Oriana. That's how she packs things.
it's like, oh, okay. I just love the seething indictment against Oriana's streamer packing skills.
So he's like, come on, Faye, why don't you sing to me? And she's like, all right. There was a girl named Faye. She had a very long day with a woman who sees bugs and is probably gay. She says you could probably give me a hand, but the boys were so very bland. I will only listen to music played by a lipstick-wearing band. Okay, there's not enough for you.
Come on, Faye, give me something a little bit more upbeat.
Okay, fine. Here's a good one. Hair up, baby, hair up. Give me a powerful lip, baby, powerful, powerful lip.
I spend all day trying to curl when my guests only hurl because there's a hair in their goddamn dinner. Is that enough? Is that enough?
Are you going to wear your hair up? Please wear your hair up. With a powerful lip to go with your hair that is up.
So then we go to Casey, and there's a stain on someone's clothes. And she's like, oh my God, look at this stain. And Oriana's like, that's not us. I mean, really, stop stressing, Casey. This is where she's like eating her noodles. She's like, you're just like letting things like get to you.
And Casey's like, you're too casual about things, I feel. And Oriana's like, she's like, I can't be emotional about it and you know what? I would love to have a conversation about what the actual issue is when you're ready. And Casey's like, yeah, but we don't have time for that. So I don't really feel like that's going to happen anytime soon.
Well, it seems imperative that we make time for that based on how the dynamics are becoming. Spooning up linguine and putting it in my mouth.
Yeah. Well, I'm just getting irritated, and I think that we've been working together and like living together for quite a while now. And it's like I'm like tired. And like, what do you think? How about what if we like move out of this channel?
I don't really want to move.
And she tells us,
Yeah, it's not really fun to have to pack up and move rooms. Living with Casey's entertaining. I love listening to Casey pretend to have whatever accent she has at night.
and so Casey's like, well, but I mean, it makes sense because Jess and Fee aren't getting along anyway. So she goes, okay, I understand, but they can have that conversation between us. And it is imperative that while I eat this linguine, I have somebody to talk down to. So please just stand there while I talk to you like I'm your boss. Thank you.
Faye just comes in and starts digging through boas, and it's like, oh, Oriana, look at that. Look at that linguine in your mouth. It's as organized as every decoration you've ever packed away on this boat.
Okay, well, thanks for having this conversation with me. So, Casey, let's have this conversation when we're not, like, frustrated, so we can, like, talk like, you know what I mean. Thank you. You are dismissed.
Yeah. So now it's 30 minutes to a drag party because there's going to be a drag party before dinner. And all the guests, they're so polite. They're just like sitting in the salon, like just ready to be told what to do next. As a great counterpoint to the guests on regular Below Deck who are just like disasters and awful. They're just all sitting there like, well, what? This is a lovely room. I'm happy to sit here and wait for us to be told where we should go in an orderly fashion next. And so Faye's like,
What are you all doing in here? You know you're allowed to drink upstairs. It's allowed.
So the guys are putting on all their makeup and getting in wacky drag. And so Casey announces the special treat. And we get a drag show. We've got Spicy Seth and Louisa is Lewis.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike is bubblegum. Bubblegum like fun.
because girl want to have fun. So they then do like a limbo contest, and there's just like, it's like silliness and everything. And actually Seth wins the drag contest because Bubblegum and Louisa have a twerking off as the tiebreaker, and they're both terrible at it. So they just give it to Seth. And there's like all this madness happening. And then down in the galley, Jess is just like, Mercury, where dreams come true.
So then the guests sit down to dinner and they're like, Shelby, do you cook every night? She's like, yeah, that's how I got this ring. It was a few dinners after I admitted that I've really never been on the set of Designing Women. It was a rough one. It was lobster ravioli, as I recall, but I got it. I got it. Thank you, time. Thank you, time.
I put a lot of effort. Into that lie. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I did lie, but I'm not going to lie about the lie. It was a lot of effort. I watched every episode of Designing Women. I even watched that show on Lifetime she was on. I mean, I did it all. Okay, I was really trying to sell that story.
Homemade linguine with crab remugolata latata. Enjoy.
Yes. So they all are about to have their linguine, and then Turner's like, oh my God, I'm just like shocked. This is more shocking when I found out I would not get to meet Delta Burke through you-know-who's not real mother. Wow. There's a hair in my linguine.
Look, guys, it's right there. And Shelby's like, oh my God. And then Mary Lou's like, oh my God, I'm just like shocked. I'm sure you are, Mary Lou. You probably put it there from your purse. And Shelby's like, babe, you have to say something. She goes, oh, I am. So Oriana comes out, and Turner's so nice. She's like, Oriana, there's a hair. And Oriana goes,
That is disgusting.
she's like, that was the best answer ever, you guys. She said it's disgusting. Hilarious.
Yeah, they loved it. So then Oriana goes back to the kitchen and shows it to Jess. She's like, there's like a hair. And Jess goes, whose is it? And Oriana goes, I don't know. Well, it's definitely not my hair. It looks like a man's hair. What?
She picks up the hair. She's like, definitely not mine. And then she just puts her hands on the food, takes the hair out, ruffles the food around, and throws some more cheese on it. She's like, there.
And Oriana's like stunned. She's like, and Jess goes, what? What happened? What happened?
Nothing.
Use your words.
Nothing.
Use your words.
Are there toothpicks? I mean, are there going to be toothpicks with this? Or ...
Words.
This isn't landing.
Use your words. I'll give you one. Baked. Here's another one. Alaska. And here's another one. Go. And here's a last one. Away.
So she does. She leaves, and she tells us, I am mortified. The appropriate course of action is to give the guest a fresh plate. Which is accurate, you know.
Yes.
And that's terrible. I can't believe Jess just did that on national television. Serve it. Just serve it again. I'm glad I could be here to do what any idiot could do. Pluck a hair out of a linguine.
And her, like, Jess's attitude seems to be, it's not my hair, so I'm not going to bother making a new one. If it were my hair, I would make a new one, but this isn't my fault, so everyone else has to deal with it.
Yes. So then back at the table, Ned Flanders is like, I've had way worse things in my mouth. And Shelby's like, is it okay now, babe? And Turner's like, yeah. I mean, they just had like another bowl ready to go. It's amazing.
Amazing how quick this was. Look, there's still a print. There's still a thumbprint for where I put my thumb in the linguine. I'm sorry, everyone. I don't know why I felt like mentioning that.
What service? I mean, they left the retainer that I took out and put on the plate when I started eating the last one. I mean, wow. 5-star.
It's amazing. So, of course, Oriana tells Faye about this, and Faye's like, ew. So Faye then goes up to Jess. She goes, well, she just told me what happened. Oh, when she was too dumb to use her words. No, but the hair. Well, it wasn't my hair. It was a man's hair. It was wearing a T-shirt that said Barstool Sports. So I knew it was a man's.
Yes, but she says that you just sent the dish back out.
She goes, well, my hair just goes up like this. That hair apparently is not cowlicked. Lucky person, whoever that is. Woohoo, hurrah for you. And she tells us, I've been a chef for a very long time, and it's an unfortunate situation when there's hair in the food. It's disgusting. I'm mortified. But I'm also not going to create a big drama out of it. It's not like I can undo it. And besides, I didn't have to eat hair, so there's always that.
If people had such a problem with hair, then why was it such a hit, iconic musical? Answer me that, honestly.
Well, why are you rolling your eyes at me?
Well, it's not cool. That's why it's not cool.
Just what do you want me to do? Magic it away? Patronus. There. Now get out.
Dracarys. Oh, you just caught me on fire. Sorry, I used the wrong command.
Get off the floor, Faye.
I can't. I'm a frog now. Could you please?
Well, you still have quite a powerful lip, amazingly.
So you transformed me, not my lipstick.
It's just a frog with a giant lipstick next to it.
It's just a tart frog.
So Jess says, well, the girls are the ones with their long locks down like they're going to hoochie it up at a nightclub. And then we see the clip in black and white of Faye going,
The girls, we do full hair, full makeup, everything.
Oh, and be sure to shower 3 times that we have as many split fragile ends as possible before dinner.
So Jess is like, I probably should have gone to Captain Kerry about that weeks ago, but they'll want to look glam, so what am I supposed to do?
I love that Jess has turned this around to an issue that she needs to go to the captain about them about. Tricky. So she's like, well, you shouldn't have your on service, you shouldn't have your hair down every day, but you want to be glam. She says, yes, yes, Jess, I know. And my hair is in a bun.
And I'll tell you for free what color the hair was.
What color was it?
That'll be $5.
You just said it would tell me for free.
I changed my mind, Faye.
So she's like, well, I'm just irritated because they're not open to feedback, which is hilarious. I love how she's turned this all around. Now, all of that said, of course, this is Jess's fault, right? This is terrible.
Yeah.
She sent out the plate, mortifying. They should not be having their hair down during service. No way. Put their hair up. Everybody knows that. They teach you that in the food handling class. Come on.
Yeah, the hair should be back. So then they go outside and Turner's like, listen, Faye, Oriana, if I start to sneeze, don't panic. I sneeze when I'm full. Another lie! Quiet, Mary Lee, this is my charter. Making my own identity this time.
It's genetic. I sneeze when I'm full. Don't panic, guys. So then Nathan is in bed and he calls his sister Julie and he's like, I've made mistakes and my bosun is overlooking me. I take care of everyone. I was like, oh my God, Nathan makes one little mistake and look how he beats himself up. He's like, my family will never eat again. Poor guy.
I know. He has like the best work ethic out of all these people, even though he can't cut tape apparently. But still, I feel like in some way he's like not getting respect on this boat, you know? Probably because from Lewis. Because I feel like I feel more for Nathan because Lewis is always saying these little things like, oh, and Nathan gets very agitated, or oh, you know, he doesn't have his problem focusing or whatever. I'm like, he is the one who seems most impacted by when he messes up. He actually seems to care about his performance.
Yeah, he cares. So his sister's like, well, when you make mistakes, all you have to do is just try to do something different to make up for the mistakes. And he's like, I love you, big head.
Nathan, get off the radio. We don't need to hear about your conversation with your sister.
He's been speaking into the radio the whole time.
The whole time. Nathan, how many times do I have to tell you? I'm your captain. I'm not your sister Julie.
So I have to point out that before, when Oriana went to Faye to Tattletale, she was like, you will not believe what just happened. There was a hair, and then I took it back, and then Jess, the way this Jess acted, and then she sent it back out. I am mortified. Like, that's how she went to her. So now they're in the pantry again, Faye and Oriana, and Faye's like, well, I think that Casey's been poisoned. And she's, oh my God, she totally has. That's what our conversation was about today. That is what it was about, her poisoning. She's like, oh, well, does she think she's fucking 5-star? She goes, oh, yes, she does. Oriana, you were the one doing all of this. What did Casey do?
Yeah. I don't know where that came from. Yeah. So now Jess then's like, interior, I'm plating interior. So they come up and they serve this like veal chop marsala, and Turner's like, you know what's funny? Do you want to know what my nickname was in high school? Delta Burke. No. It was pork chop. Thank you very much.
And they're like, aw, I'm so sorry, honey. That's terrible. She's like, no, pork chop. It's a cool name. They're like, oh, okay.
Turner's face falls as she realizes all these years have gone by with people taunting her. And she's like, guys, thanks.
She didn't even realize she was being bullied. And now they've just like ruined her entire memory of her childhood.
Guys, you know what my nickname was in high school? It was Stupid Fuckface. I was like, hey. They would be like, hey, Stupid Fuckface. I'd be like, hey, guys.
They used to call me Wide Load. Isn't that amazing? Because those are like the biggest trucks. So Mary Lou goes, oh my God. And Turner's like, uh-oh, you got one too? She's like, yes, and it's definitely not mine. Look at it. Faye, do not kill me. I'm sorry. There was a hair in my dish. Oh, really? Was it a fly's hair? Did Jeff Goldblum come in here and drop a hair onto your dish? Interesting. Let's see it.
Ooh, can you describe the shape of the hair?
Yes, it looked like a veal chop.
Oh, dear. That's your veal chop. Is it?
She's like, it's over here. I saved it. Well, let me change your food. I'll be sure to shave the next veal chop I bring out. No one? I thought that was pretty good, actually. But all right, I'll be back. And she's like, I don't want another one. I just want this sparkling. Oh, my God. There's a toenail in my sparkling water. Mary Lou.
Mary Lou, the alarmist. So then Faye brings the veal chop into the kitchen, and she just promptly throws it in the trash. She's like,
I'll show Jess how it's done.
So then there's like this weird moment where Carrie's talking to Lewis, and he's like, so, is this your first time in drag? And Lewis goes, no, I mean, and then it just sort of stops talking.
I was like, you're good at it. Which I think is the first time Carrie's ever said that about Lewis doing anything. So, well done on that one. So then Faye tells Jess, oh, she found another hair. She goes, this has never happened to me in my entire thing. Don't worry about it. So then Oriana and Faye are talking. And Oriana's like, well, at least we own up when we mess up. Oh, really? When did you own up? When you said that Jess just talks too fast. Like, I'm trying to think of one time that she owned up on anything.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Was the time that she got all the eggs Benedicts mixed up?
Yeah. So she's like, well, what did you do? Oh, no, I'm sorry. So then Faye says, yes, well, she says it was up because we don't tie our hair back. So then Oriana like runs up to the wheelhouse and she's like,
captain.
Yeah, to the captain. She goes, just so you know, interior is on a very thin ice. I'll let them come talk to you on their own, but it's a ... just in case you didn't hear it.
And Carrie's like, huh? And she just like leaves. And Lewis just goes, what was that about? He goes, I don't know. Someone's upset? I don't know. And I already know you're going to ask another question. And in advance, I'll say, I don't know.
Can a man do his wordle? And so Faye sees Oriana coming down the stairs and she's like, what did you do? She goes, I said that things were going on and we need to talk. And she goes, with Captain? She goes, yeah. I mean, do you want to talk to him now or you want to wait? Oh, hell no. How is Faye not yelling at her? Hell no.
It was literally nothing that needed to be elevated to the captain. Like, I cannot believe that she did that.
Usurper. So the guests are asking for plans tomorrow. It's repelling, and they're going to eat lunch at the destination. You guys excited?
Yeah. And so then Casey gets up for a group hug with the guys. I don't remember what that was.
Casey's just in a really good mood because, you know, like when you're about to get out of prison, even if it's like in 6 months and you've been in there 5 years, every day is like a day closer, you know? And I think that she thinks she's going to get away from Oriana soon. So she's literally skipping around the boat this whole episode, smiling big.
Yeah.
And now she's like, guys, I just wanted to say, good job tonight. I'm really proud. Let's have a group hug.
And then Jess, meanwhile, in the galley, dinner is done. And so Oriana's in there and she goes, sorry about earlier. I don't know what happened. I didn't react in a way I wanted to. And that was rude of me to say to you. You're way too simple-minded to understand any of the things I say in the first place. So I shouldn't be rude while I'm doing it.
And Oriana's like, well, I appreciate that. There were a lot of conversations that happened at me today that weren't helpful. So I think we all four need to sit down. You are not the boss of anybody, okay? You don't get to call family meetings. You are barely dating my dad.
Yeah. So then Oriana then tells Faye that Jess apologized and saying that, like,
Faye's like, well, it's obvious that Faye obviously did not it's obvious that Jess obviously did not have any more linguini. And if I tell the captain, I have a feeling he might fire her. And I don't want her to get fired, but she could be a dragon. But what chef can't be a dragon? Please don't say Dracarys again, please.
I'm going to sleep on it. But we have to both admit here, just in private, she may be a dragon, but she's a dragon who wears lipstick every single day. Am I ready to turn on my own? I'll be thinking.
So then we see Seth eating Doritos. I don't know why, but we do. And then it's the morning, and Jess and Faye are in their cabin. So Jess gets up. Faye gets up, and she sits in her bed, and she looks in the mirror, and she goes,
oh, not one day have I ever looked at my hair and said, good job.
And Jess is like, it doesn't put me in a good mood to wake up to that. The last thing I want to talk about is hair. I don't do well in toxic environment. You're mad that she's talking about hair.
I know. Faye's like,
that's all well and good, but can you transform me back into a human? This frog situation's a little bit peevish.
I've made it this far without warts. I would rather keep it going, please. At least choose a donkey or something else as insulting but not as degrading, please.
I just want to be an animal that can see over the counter for dinner service. It's very annoying having to hop each time to be like, what's on that plate? Hop. What's on that plate? Hop.
So people are waking up, and the guests love the drag show. And then Faye is talking to Lewis, and she's like,
is there a picnic course today? We need to talk to Jess. Lewis, could you meet me in the pantry?
And so they get there, and she's like, picnic outside or not? And he's like, well, the weather's not great, and no one wants to sit in a gazebo in the rain. So talk to Jess.
Yeah. So then Seth gets a call from Lewis Lewis can bring Seth on the excursion, and then Jess, her plan is that she's just going to make some hot chocolate for the guests upon their return from their excursion. And this is when we have a really wonderful showdown between Faye and Jess. Like this scene was amazing to me. So Faye is like,
Well, we'll still need a little something in addition to hot chocolate. And Jess goes,
what? It's just pointless feeding them and feeding them and feeding them. It destroys their meal.
Well, I'll tell you what destroys their meal. Hair from your head in their meal.
And she tells us, I don't want to make this tit for tat or personal, but it's up to me what I tell the captain about the hair, or how much I tell the captain about the hair. And she tells her, so what we're going to do is a nice spread of sandwiches, please.
I'm not feeding them twice.
Can you do sandwiches?
Yes.
Can you do something else in addition to sandwiches?
No.
I'm trying to compromise here, Jess.
By the way, she's literally not compromising about anything. Like, what has she given up?
She's like, I'm doing a compromise here, Jess, so please do sandwiches and another dish.
And Jess goes, bring it down.
I don't want to argue, and you just swore at me too.
I'm going to make them a nice lunch. I fucking hate making sandwiches. And then Faye just looks at her and goes,
we're going to do it today. We'll make sandwiches today.
People need to respect the chiefs too sometimes, because we have a lot of power.
So the guests are all getting ready to go, and Jess is making the angriest sandwiches I've ever seen in my life. She's like throwing things on the bread, and then she just squirts Dijon. She's like,
she is not happy. She's like, stupid peasant food. And by the way that Faye won that fight. Faye basically was like, I am making the call here and I'm in charge. That was the most Kate Chastain moment we've had in the post Kate Chastain era. Like, that is the first person who has brought true Kate Chastain energy to the boat, right?
Yeah, I mean, she did it. I was impressed because Jess did it.
Yeah.
She did it. It worked. So then the guests get ready to go, and sandwiches, blah, blah, blah. And Mike is packing the boat with Oriana, and he goes, you forget something? I swear you forget Mike Mad. And she's like, we have everything. And she's literally standing there eating chips as she says this. She's like, we literally have everything. Okay, I checked. We have everything.
So, yeah. And then the guests get onto the boat, and Shelby's like, who wants to celebrate my engagement? Engagement to lies, Shelby. Lies. Nothing but lies.
And so Faye's like,
For this excursion, you've never heard me say this before on the show, so let me just tell you, audience, this excursion is one of the most thrilling and dangerous excursions my guests will ever have.
Yeah, why do they always have Faye selling the excursions? They always have her being like,
the guests today will be climbing up a mountain that turns into a volcano, and it erupts every day at 1 p.m. And at 12:57, they're going to dip a toe in and then run down the hillside and outpace the lava. The thrill of a lifetime. And then afterwards, they'll be served sandwiches.
So they get there, and the guests start repelling, and the couple's like, oh my God, we're scared. But they do it. And meanwhile, Lewis, Mike, and Oriana are setting up the picnic. And so Lewis is like, well, we've come to help them because I'm afraid what Faye will say at the tip meeting. I'm not used to a stew team being this demanding. I'm trying to work with you, Faye. I'm really trying. Yeah, deckhands always help set up picnics, dude.
Literally.
Okay? Your face isn't going to be put on a penny.
And when he says, I'm afraid of what Faye's going to say at the tip meeting, it's like, good. Then it worked. The point is, if I don't do something right, someone's going to call me out again. That's exactly correct. That's how it works, actually, at a job.
Yeah, look at that. So they set up the tables, and then Oriana loves bossing people. So she just passes by and she goes,
if you can make them a level, that's great.
And they're on hills, of course. And so Lewis is like, yeah, it's not going to be level.
Yeah. So then Nathan, meanwhile on the boat, like, he's still like sad. He's super sad about yesterday's mistake. And he's like, so he's apologizing, like, sorry again about yesterday. And Carrie's like, well, it was a huge responsibility. It's a huge responsibility being on that bow. And I don't want you by yourself anymore until you can prove to me that you can take these steps and take it seriously and take it hard.
So then more repelling, and Faye, is very helpful when you're like thousands of feet in the air, whatever. I don't know how many feet. I don't really understand feet and distance, but they're
Same.
very high up and they're coming down, and Faye's just jumping up and down and screaming, I can see you!
Well done, ladies. You girls have got some balls. Ooh.
So meanwhile, Mike is looking for potato chips around the picnic. He's like, Mike, no see chips. Mike, Miss Pringles.
No chip, only Faye. So Faye's coming. She's on her way. She's like, oh, hello, look at that, sandwiches and the chips. And Oriana's like, well, we got the bowl, but not the chips. Well, it's your responsibility to get the chips. Yeah, I understand that, but they're not here, so what do you want me to do? It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
Faye's like, look at these crudités. That looks pathetic.
She goes, well, I know, but like we just had to roll with it.
She's like, but it was your responsibility to bring it. I just gave you a chance to shine.
And Ariana's like, if you want to play this game, we can play this game. I'm like, whoa, Ariana.
If you want to play this fucking game, we can play. Throw her off the fucking cliff. Oh my God. In any other season. Well, I mean, I say that while Camille still has a job on the other below deck, but get rid of her is the bottom line.
Yeah. And Faye's like, it's not a game. And Shelby's like, meanwhile, Shelby and Turner are sitting nearby, and Shelby's like, Oriana forgot the chips. So Oriana's like, you're making a scene in front of the guests, so please stop.
And Mary Lou's like, guys, I think I found the chips you're looking for. That's the bag of hair, Mary Lou. We're on to your tricks. All right?
Hairs and flies. Interesting, Mary Lou.
So then Oriana's like, you're making a scene in front of the guests. And to yell at me in front of the guests, that is not professional. Which is true, but also smarting off and fucking up and then being like, get over it. And if you want this to be a fucking deal, it can be you want to play this fucking game? That's not professional either. So quiet down. So then Faye's really upset. So she's at the van with Mike and Lewis, and she's like facing away from the guests. And she's like, I just don't understand it. It's not rocket science. We check and we check. Double check. But obviously you didn't, caveman. Obviously you didn't. We put bag. Stu give bag. We put bag.
Me hold bag. Boat hold bag after. So then Faye's like,
Well, it's just that the 2 hours was spent this morning packing the stuff, and it's still wrong.
and Lewis is like, it's frustrating, but please don't take this out on me and Mike. And Faye's like,
Do you understand? It's my job that's in jeopardy here. I'm frustrated by the stupidness.
and she has a tear going down her cheek.
Could you imagine getting fired for forgetting chips? Well, I'm sorry, Faye. I've really appreciated your lipstick and hair curling game, but the lack of crisps. You'll never work on these seas again. Get out.
It's like it's a whole stash of Cape Cod chips.
Wait a minute, is this a hair in my tea? Oh, God, I can't take it. And that brings us to the end of Below Deck Adventure. Everyone,
Yeah.
I literally had to go through the catalog of all the Below Decks in my head. I'm like, Below Deck Sailing, Below Deck Mediterranean, Below Deck Regular, Below Deck Disco Fries, Below Deck Meatball. Thank you,
Meatball.
everybody.
I'd watch that.
Thank you so much for being here. This was really fun. And we'll talk to you next time. Also, don't forget to go. I'm sorry, I got distracted. My snails are making out right now in my fish tank.
Wow.
And there's like a love story going on in there. So everyone, thanks for being here. Don't forget to go get your tickets for Crappens Live, the Cheetah Brand Tour, starting next month. Very soon, 3 weeks. Oh my God. Go get them. Check out our Patreon. And we will be back with more episodes. And of course, Dwell Hello coming to our premium feed starting. Ben is probably right. Let's face it. Ben is usually right. So I'm assuming that's this week. Okay.
Well, it's going to be either this week or next week. The point is, if you subscribe, it'll just come to you.
It's going to be there. And
It'll be
you know
there.
what?
Like, it's
After
gonna be
it's there, it doesn't matter when it gets there, because when it's there, it's going to be there forever. It's going to be us loving us, each other, and you. Okay, guys? So subscribe for the love, okay? And thanks for being here. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors.
Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Dana C., Dana Do,
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
Hava Nagila Weber.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson.
You're never alone with Lacey Monteleone.
Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg, you can't have a burger without the Berg. Sarah Greenwood, she only uses her power for good.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors. Always the wiser, it's Allison Weisler.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Better do what she says, it's Elva Enriquez. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides. Undo your fasteners, it's Aaron Kastner.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
We will, Joanna Rockland you. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender.
She's a good hobby, it's Lauren Hobgood.
We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey Prime members, you can listen to Watch or Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.